Hey guys, what's going on? It's Vic here, back with another Madden 23 rebuild. In today's episode, we're going to be rebuilding the Minnesota Vikings, but with the new addition of TJ Hockenson. So I do know the exact trade details because I did just trade them away to the Lions. It is a 2023 second round pick, a 2024 third round pick, a 2023 fourth round pick, and a conditional 2024 fifth round pick, I believe, or a 2020 conditional 2024 fourth round pick. It's one of those, but I just traded all those picks away to the Lions. So I already got that worked out as they got TJ Hockenson, which this trade at first, people were a little bit like, why? But then they realized Irv Smith was out for a long time. And since Irv Smith is out for a long time, I'm just going to trade him away if I'm being honest. I'm going to see what I can get for him because we don't need him anymore. And Quan Williams, he was a beast in my Wheel of Franchise series, if you guys have ever seen that. AJ Green, Bryce Callahan, old players that just have no value. Myles Gaskin, Trey Sermon always gets offered. I don't need a running back. Michael Carter, the second, not the Michael Carter. Wow, these are all just horrible deals from people. Rock Ya-Sin is maybe the best one I've got. These are all just straight kind of garbage, so I'll review that in a second. But for right now, Kirk Cousins is going to be our starter, but I will look for a new QB soon. They also have Jalen Reagor, I forgot. I may trade for a receiver for Irv Smith. That might be a better idea. Superstar linebacking core right here. Danielle Hunter, Eric Kendricks, and Zadarius Smith. They're all pretty old, though, along with Harrison Smith. This is a pretty old team that does need a rebuild. Andrew Booth, I'm going to start immediately to make sure that he gets some play time here. And, yeah, I think we should be okay. Wait, where's Lewis? Where's Lewis Seen? Where is he? There he is. Okay, I had to refresh the roster, but he's there. I'm going to move Andrew Booth up again, and then Cam Dantzler I'm going to move up as well. And then, yeah, we should be pretty decent offensively. Okay, there's nobody else here. Specialist. I'm cool with everything we've got. Andrew Booth might as well move into the slot as well. And I'm going to trade away, Irv Smith here. And I'm going to trade him away for a receiver. So let's see what I could potentially get for him. So actually, now that I'm thinking about this, I think I want to trade away Irv Smith in the next season because technically the trade deadline did just pass. So I will trade away Irv Smith in the next upcoming season because in real life the trade deadline the trade deadline passed, but in Madden it didn't. So anyways, we're just going to rock with what we have. We're going to leave Irv Smith there. Maybe I trade him at the deadline actually. That may be a smarter decision if he is in his contract year. I might do that. But anyways, this is the team that we got. I'm going to move in to a... Do I move in? I'm not going to move into a 4-3, but I want a 4-3-4, 3-4 disguise, and then I want a vertical zone run. And then I always go with the Giants playbooks because they're honestly goated for some reason. I have absolutely no idea why, but we're just going to rock with the Giants playbooks just because they work. Why not just stick with what works? And making sure Andrew Booth starts, and he does. So anyways, guys, apart from that, this is a pretty old team. We're going to have to do a lot of work on this team. But anyways, it's now time to move into the midseason mark. Here we are at the midseason mark as we are 2-4. Not really too much of a surprise. We're going to choose a draft class here. We're going to keep the auto-generated rookies and see what we got. QBs. Okay, there's a couple of QBs here. Actually, 4 of them. So I like that. And we just need to replace Kirk Cousins. Sorry, that's just the way it is. Scouting national focus. We're going to do QB, of course, because that is one of the strengths in this class. So that is good to see. And yeah, I think we should be pretty good. I mean, not for this season. Team's not doing that well. Dalvin Tomlinson's going to be 29. He's not going to be good. Pat Pete is too old. Alexander Madison. I want trade value out of him. I want to get something out of this guy. I feel like I for sure could. I know technically the Vikings didn't do that in real life and blah, 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 blah. But I want to get something out of him. Him to the Bills kind of makes sense, even though Nyheim Hines just went to the Bills, but I'm going to do it anyways. Second round pick for Alexander Madison. Sounds good to me. Irv Smith. I already talked about it before. If I didn't have the time to trade him away in the first place, if I didn't have the chance to, then I would at the midseason mark. So to the Broncos, they don't have any picks. Buccaneers, would you trade a second round pick for Irv Smith? I don't think you would. They do. Okay, I snag a bunch of second round picks from people. Now I have 3 of them. Garrett Bradbury is a guy I want back. Centers don't regress until like the age of 32, so he resigns. And I don't want Sullivan. He's about to be 27. And everyone else here is just a no for me. Just not really interested in anyone else. So apart from that, guys, I would say it's now time to move in to the playoffs. Here we are in the playoffs, actually making the playoffs, going 9-8 top of the division. Crazy. We get the 4 seed because we took the division. That's insane. Kirk Cousins. Okay, he actually did pretty decent, but I'm still going to replace him. 16th best offense, mid. 21st best defense, worse than mid. 4,600 yards, 31 touchdowns, 16 interceptions. Not amazing, not bad, though. Dalvin Cook, 17 touchdowns, 4.6 per carry, 1,300 yards. Great season. Adam Thielen, 1,300 yards, 9 touchdowns. Justin Jefferson, 10 touchdowns, 1,100 yards. KJ Osborne with a pretty solid season as well. Looking at it defensively, Eric Kendricks, 140 tackles for a loss, 18 for Zadarius Smith, sacks, 11.5 for Danielle Hunter, only 6.5 for Zadarius Smith. Interceptions, 7 for Pat Pete, still not going to re-sign him. Safety, 0 defensive touchdowns is 1 for Pat Pete and 1 for Lewis Seen, I believe is how you pronounce it. So anyways, we're gonna see what we got here against the 12-5 Philadelphia Eagles. I don't expect us to win this at all because, you know, they're goated. Yeah, 35-28. It's kind of what I expected. Let's move into the offseason. The Cowboys blow out the Bills in the Super Bowl as Alexander Madison made it to the Super Bowl because I just traded him in the offseason. But Dak Prescott wins the Super Bowl MVP. Josh Allen wins the league MVP. He seems to win the league MVP in almost every simulation, and there are no awards here for the Minnesota Vikings. So we're going to see if we got any development upgrades on the team. Maybe Kirk Cousins got started. Maybe. No, he did not. And Adam Thielen somehow doesn't get Superstar X Factor. I thought he would. Everyone on this team looks exactly the same, except Kirk Cousins has regressed, so we're going to get rid of him. Lewis Seen gets Superstar Dev. I swear if I'm mispronouncing that, I'm so sorry to everyone watching. That's what I'm going to call him for the rest of the rebuild. And Zadarius Smith is regressing. Eric Kendricks is regressing, but Danielle Hunter has X Factor. Harrison Smith is regressing. Pat Pete regressed, but he got Star Dev. That's not really useful. Andrew Booth is only a Star Dev. And we got to completely revamp this team. Hopefully we can do that. We have $40 million to spend in free agency, but for right now, I'm going to check on the re-signed players and the retirements. I'm praying that Kirk Cousins retires because his cap hit is actually pretty high. So hopefully he will. Looks like nobody retires because our cap room is the same. So we are the NFC North and the Packers. Okay, Packers, players retires. That's fine with me. And we're going to go to the players ready to negotiate to see who we have. And what do we got? Delvin Tomlinson, no. Pat Pete, no. Everyone here is just a no. Not really interested in anyone. So apart from that, guys, it's now time to move into free agency. So here we are after free agency. I ended up getting Jamel Dean, and that's literally about it. Everyone else just didn't really have much of an interest in including Jamel Dean, so he's kind of the only player I got, or else I would have to overpay for a bunch of players. So I didn't want to do that. We're still technically in the third period of free agency, but I just didn't want to wait for the free agency recap. So anyways, let's just move into the draft. And in the first round, I'm picking up QB Tucker Pryor, improviser, 6'3", 221 out of UCF, hidden development, 91 throw power, 82 speed. He looks to be a beast. And in the second round, I'm picking up middle linebacker Mitchell Clark. God, I sound like an idiot when I talk. Pass coverage, linebacker. He's only 5'11". Usually you want your linebacker to be at least 6'1", but he's 240 pounds. I'm 5'11" and I weigh 170. This dude's 5'11" and 240. Holy, that's a lot of muscle out of LSU. Here we are after the draft as Pryor is a 74 overall. He's immediately going to start. And Kirk Cousins, how much does it take to cut you? We will save so much money without you on the team. Goodbye, Kirk Cousins. He's up and out of here. I'm going to sign a second string QB. And Baxter, this guy was all right. Picked him up in like I think the 4th round. He seems okay. But I'm not really going to worry about him too much. O-line, I maybe should have got a right guard, Ben Cleveland. Is this Ben? No, Ezra Cleveland, not Ben Cleveland. Ben Cleveland plays for the Ravens. I should know that. Defensively, Clark is only a 68. Yikes, but whatever. He's going to play regardless. Carmen is here. I don't know who this is, but he's going to start just because he's here. And Booth, Jamel Dean. Yeah, I think the team looks pretty good. I need to sign a second string quarterback or else the CPU will jack up my roster as always. So we're going to go to here. Kirk Cousins is here. Cooper Rush, baby. We're signing Cooper Rush to make sure that he's the GOAT. It's just confirmed. Cooper Rush out of James Madison, baby. we're going to adjust the lineup to see what we got here. And did it adjust anything? Did it? Yes, it did. It always does. I hate it when it does that. And defense, I have to. Oh, and my middle linebacker that I drafted in the first round? No, second round. It's just disappeared. So let's see if we can get him back. There he is. Let's move him above Hicks, and he's not going to start over. Who's this? Jordan Hicks? Yeah, Jordan Hicks. I completely forgot about him. Dude's kind of irrelevant ever since he left the Cardinals. But anyways, guys, apart from that, I would say it's now time to move in to the midseason mark. Here we are at the midseason mark as we are 2-5, coming off a loss to the Lions. Yikes, dude. Yikes. Eric Kendricks, I do want you back. 2 years, sure. If you accept this, yeah, he resigns. Danielle Hunter, I do want you back as well. 4 years. He's gonna regress so hard. I mean, he's 28 actually, so accept this, please. Thank you. He accepts that. Cam Dantzler, you're needed back on the team. Sorry if you don't want to be here, but I'm gonna make sure I resign you. Overpaid for him, but he's back. Jordan Hicks now. Ezra Cleveland is going to be a yes. Let's up his money for him, and he resigns. Good stuff. CJ Ham, no. KJ Osborne. KJ Osborne's okay. I thought that said 28. I was like, no way. Anyways, yeah, everyone else here. How much is Cooper Rush? That way, well, I'm not even gonna get a chance to negotiate, but I want to know how much Cooper Rush was, so that way I don't have to keep re-signing QBs. But anyways, guys, apart from that, let's get into the playoffs. Here we are in the playoffs, going 6-11, coming off a loss to the Packers. Not really a surprise. We have a rookie QB back there, and he was amazing. My goodness. Other than his pass rating, best offense in the NFL, 26th best defense. What? 5,200 yards, 36 touchdowns, 14 interceptions. Great season for a rookie. Dalvin Cook, 17 touchdowns, 5.3 per carry is amazing, 1,400 yards. Adam Thielen, 1,500 yards, 106 receptions, 7 touchdowns, amazing season. Justin Jefferson with a little bit better of a season, having a little bit less yards, but 3 more receptions and 2 more touchdowns. TJ Hockenson was solid. Looking at it defensively, Eric Kendricks, 117 tackles for a loss, 13 for Danielle Hunter, sacks, 7 for only Zadarius Smith, that's it. Interceptions, 3 for Cam Dantzler, and safeties is 0, defensive touchdowns is 0. So I'm going to change up the defensive scheme here. I'm going to completely change this because obviously it is not working. I think the Giants playbooks works better with a 4-3. So we're going to do a base 4-3 here, and then we're going to rock with Danielle Hunter on the edge, and yeah, we're going to rock with Danielle Hunter on the edge along with Zadarius Smith on the edge. I think that would just work better, and move our new middle linebacker over to the left outside linebacker position, because those guys saying, oh, this is unrealistic, this is so unrealistic. Guess what? The scheme's not working, so it's realistic to change up the defense whenever what you have is not working. So moving them down to the defensive end positions, and then I'm also going to take Clark and move him, Mitchell Clark, to the left outside linebacker position. He can play pass coverage over there, and it is good. Good stuff. And Clark is going to start over this guy. Do I move Phillips to defensive tackle? How big is Phillips? Oh, he's 307. Yeah, he can definitely play defensive tackle. He's fine. So we're going to move him over there to the defensive tackle position. And then do I move my defensive end that the CPU drafted to defensive tackle as well? This guy, Carmen? I think I will. 280, that's good enough for me. He's 6'3". He's going to move in to the defensive tackle position. And if I can actually get there. And I think we'll just change up the scheme entirely, because from what we had before, it was clearly not working. Let's move this guy here. And yeah, I like that a lot better. Yeah, I like that a lot better than what we had. I think the defense looks a lot more clean and organized that way. So anyways, it's now time to move into the offseason. And the Giants beat the Bengals in the Super Bowl with their new QB, Josh Stern, and Josh Allen wins the league MVP, different Josh QB. And Brian Daboll wins the Coach of the Year for the Giants as the Giants win the Super Bowl. And there are no awards here for the Minnesota Vikings. So let's see what we got here for the players and upgrades offensively. Pryor is a superstar dev. Did he get that, or did he come with it? I should have checked it before. No, he got the superstar dev. That is sick. I mean, he was a top 10 QB. I'm surprised that Adam Thielen still doesn't have X Factor, but he's regressing anyways. We're going to need to draft a receiver or get one in free agency. Clark is only a star dev. Carmen is only a star dev as well, so that's fine with me. DBs we're looking okay on. I don't need to worry about DBs. I need to worry about specifically. I'm fine with our D line too. I'm cool with Carmen playing there. I need to specifically worry about getting a replacement for Harrison Smith and Adam Thielen, then maybe get a right guard as well. So we'll participate in free agency and see what we got now that now that Kirk Cousins is gone. Why did I say Case Keenum? Anyways, we're going to look at the retirements. Please, Harrison Smith, just make this easy on me and retire. I don't think he did because I don't see a cap increase. NFC North. Tom Brady retires on the Bears. I guess he really thought he could rebuild every franchise. Okay. Let's see what we got. Jordan Hicks. Everyone out here is just not interested in anyone. So apart from that, guys, we have almost $62 million to spend in free agency. I'm going to try to get a receiver. Massive free agency for this team. I got Harrison Smith's replacement, Anton Winfield Jr. I'm going to keep him at free safety probably because he's 5'9", and then move Lewis Cine over to strong safety if he's any taller. Gabe Davis is going to be our replacement for Adam Thielen. I'm blanking so hard today. We also got Ed Oliver, who had an interest with the team, and Brandon Ayuk. So this team is super set. I'm actually going to move in to this roster here and check what Lewis Cine's height is, so that way I can immediately just replace Harrison Smith if I need to. I accidentally clicked on Anton Winfield Jr., so let's go over back to Lewis Cine. My fault. Let's see what we got here. He is 6'2". We're going to move him over to the strong safety position to replace Harrison Smith. So let's see how he does over there. And what do we got? Harrison Smith, I think I might just cut him now. What's his cap? I mean, I guess I'll just cut him at the start of the next season because technically I'll just take a penalty right now. So, yeah, Brandon Ayuk, Gabe Davis. I'm going to get a right guard for my new QB. And I'll get a middle linebacker, right outside linebacker as well while I'm at it, because why not? So anyways, guys, apart from that, let's get into the draft. So I'm trading away my this year's 2, my next year's 3, and my this year's 6 for the middle linebacker Jordan Brooks, because there wasn't any really good middle linebackers on the board. So I am acquiring Jordan Brooks here, probably going to move him to right outside linebacker. And yeah, I'm going to draft me a offensive lineman here with my pick number 7. In the first round, I'm picking up this left tackle who's 6'8", 340 pounds. I'm going to move him to the guard position. I don't care if he plays left tackle. He's 6'8". He's going to be a behemoth for offensive line out of LSU. And technically, we don't have any draft picks left because I traded them all away. So I'm just going to skip to the end of the draft. So this is what the team looks like after the draft, and it looks like the CPU picked up a 74 overall second-string running back, so that's sick. I'm going to take Hendricks, the left tackle that we drafted, 72 overall with the boost, so that's sick. He seems to be a pretty good pickup. I don't know if he's worth pick number 7 in the draft, but he's going to be a standard offensive lineman for us. Ingram, this right guard. Hopefully the CPU doesn't bench my right guard. I really just want to move Ingram, but I'm just going to start Hendricks. Maybe he won't. Rushing, this guy's last name is R. Rushing, is this dude's name. Roman Rushing, and he is a running back. That's definitely a Hall of Fame caliber name there. Adam Thielen, I'm gonna cut if it will. Yeah, I'm gonna save $7 million and cut Adam Thielen. Sorry, bud. You're just regressing. We have better talent on the team now. And looking at it defensively, Jordan Brooks, I'm gonna take him, move him to the right outside linebacker position. He's gonna be very good for us. The middle linebacker class just wasn't good. There was no good pass coverage linebackers on the board. There's a bunch of edge rushers, which I didn't need, so I didn't bother with them. And Harrison Smith, bud, I'm sorry, but you're going to have to go too. Harrison Smith for a third-round pick from the Atlanta Falcons. He's off the team, and we are saving so much more cap room without those guys on the team, as this team is now youthful and it is ready to go. Super excited to see what they got for this third year, as this is a completely different team from last year. But anyways, guys, apart from that, it is now time to conduct the third season and the midseason mark. Here we are at the midseason mark, as we are 6-1 top the division. Let's go. We got a weekly award here. Is that going to be our QB? No, it's going to be Jamel Dean. 6 tackles, 1 interception, and 1 touchdown. So we got a pick 6. That's sick. And yeah, 35-17 win coming off the Colts. And we are here to negotiate with the players. Justin Jefferson, need you on the team. We're going to up the money even more for you. And he re-signs. Good stuff. Huge payday for him. TJ Hockenson, you're the entire reason why the rebuild is here. Need you back. And here he signs as well. Zadarius Smith. Please ask for a 1-year deal. It's 2. I'm not paying you $16 million a year to be mid for the rest of your career. Harrison Phillips. Depends how far you regress. I wouldn't mind having him back. But we also have Carmen, who isn't the best but isn't the worst. Harrison Phillips, I'll wait on that. Christian Darrisaw, I do want back. Let's give him more money. And he wants even more money, so we're going to have to give that to him. He is our franchise left tackle. And everyone else here, I just don't have an interest in. So apart from that, guys, I would say it's now time to move into the playoffs. Here we are in the playoffs going 15-2, top of the division, as the Packers and the Lions are in contention. Lions being in the contention for the playoffs, that's something you probably won't hear in your lifetime. Anyways, Lions get 7th seed after being 11-6, so that's unfortunate for them, but they're still a good team in this simulation. Stats and awards, let's see what we got for our QB. Tucker Pryor, top 10 QB, 4th best offense in the NFL, and the best defense in the NFL. That's amazing to see. Tucker Pryor, 4,700 yards, 37 touchdowns, 9 interceptions. Looking at it defensively, rushing-wise, Dalvin Cook, 15 touchdowns, 4.9 per carry, 1,600 yards. Justin Jefferson, 1,300 yards, 6 touchdowns only. Brandon Ayuk, 11 touchdowns, almost 1,100 yards. Great season. Gabe Davis, 1,000 yards, 8 touchdowns. TJ Hockenson with 10 touchdowns, but not very many yards. Still very good distribution of the ball. Tackles, 97 for Eric Kendricks. Tackles for a loss, 23 for Danielle Hunter. Sacks, 16.5 for Danielle Hunter. Ed Oliver with 9. Zadarius Smith with only 6. I'm not going to re-sign Zadarius Smith for $16 million a year whenever he's putting up 6 sacks. Interceptions, 4 for Andrew Booth. Safeties is 0. Well, safeties is not 0. It is 1 for Danielle Hunter, 1 for Ed Oliver, and defensive touchdowns is 2 for Jamel Dean. So I'm expecting him to probably get superstar development in this upcoming offseason. But anyways, let's see if this 15-2 team can beat this whatever team in the divisional, and it is going to be the Cowboys. They're not a whatever team. They are very good in simulation with Micah Parsons and Zeke. Let's see if we can make it to the conference championship. And we do. 35-7, blowing out the Cowboys here to face the Packers. And we all know they're historically terrible in the conference championship. So let's move into it to see if we can move on to the Super Bowl. Let's move into it. Here we are against the Green Bay Packers as we are in the first quarter. They're going to strike first, and actually, I'm just going to simulate to the end of the game because it just makes the game go by quicker. Offense doesn't get moving at all. They're going to start it with 10-0. Now it's 10-7. We answer. They answer right back, 17-7. We're answering right back. Come on, first lead of the game, 20-17 against the Packers here. Good stuff. 20-20 now in the fourth quarter, 27-20. Let's not choke this, Vikings. Come on. Come on, just even score another touchdown, 30-20. Good stuff. 30-20 is going to be your final score as the Minnesota Vikings and Tucker Pryor are going to move on to the Super Bowl, as this will be a successful rebuild. Here we are in the Super Bowl, here to face the 14-3 Pittsburgh Steelers. Who is their QB? I need to know because I don't think it's going to be Kenny Pickett. QB, Daniel Jones. God, he's so good in simulation. He's like Jacoby Brissett in Madden 20. Jacoby Brissett in Madden 20 was so good. Cam Newton in Madden 21 was goated as well. Of course, they benched my guard, as I expected. I didn't want them to do that, but they did it anyways. Rushing is a superstar dev. That's sick. Probably not going to use him. Brandon Ayuk, Gabe Davis didn't get a dev upgrade, unfortunately. Hendricks, I wish he started throughout the season, but of course, they bench him. Looking at it defensively, it looks like Jamel Dean gets superstar dev. Andrew Booth Jr. gets superstar dev as well. I'm kind of surprised that Ed Oliver didn't get superstar X Factor. He only had 9 sacks, though, to be fair. But anyways, this is the team going into the Super Bowl. Let's see how it does against the Pittsburgh Steelers, as this is already a successful rebuild. Hopefully, we can finish it out with a win. Here we are against the Pittsburgh Steelers in the Super Bowl, as they're already having an impressive starting drive. Probably going to score here, and they do, 7-0. And they're going to score right back again, 10-0, a 10-3 now, one possession game. Can our offense please wake up? Finally, 10-10 at the halftime. And a 13-10, our first lead of the game, 16-10, 13-16, 19-13, 19-16, please. 16-22, what a weird score in the Super Bowl. And are they going to score it here? 4th down, end game drive. Hold on, just run the ball. Thank you. We're going to win it 22-16 against the Pittsburgh Steelers, and that is going to be claimed as a successful rebuild. Screw you, Danny Dimes. And it looks like Danielle Hunter is going to win the Super Bowl MVP as we do win the Super Bowl. Jamie Simmons, the new QB for the Buccaneers, wins the league MVP. And our coach wins the Coach of the Year. That's sick. But yeah, we don't need to worry about the development upgrades because we already looked at them in the Super Bowl. So don't worry about that. And then we need to look at the retirements and then who we need to resign. I'm not going to participate in free agency. I already know that. How much money do we even have? We have 52 million. Ugh. That's kind of good. But at the same time, yeah, I'll actually participate in free agency. I'll re-sign Harrison Phillips for a little bit more as well, and I'll participate in free agency to replace Zadarius Smith. And I also got to sign Christian Darrisaw now that I think about it. So how much money will we have once we re-sign them? And once we re-sign them, I think that's all the players that I do want. So we have 29 million to spend. I'm gonna hop into free agency and try to get an edge rusher. Here we are after free agency. I ended up getting Josh Sweat, which is a little bit of an improvement from Zadarius Smith, but really not that big. So let's move to the draft. So in the first round, I'm picking up a depth middle linebacker. He doesn't seem to be too good, but he's just a depth player. I don't really care. It's the fourth and final season. Our team is already stacked. So I'm just going to simulate to the end of the draft. So this is what the team looks like going into the fourth and final season. Hendricks needs to start over Ingram. Ingram also has red eyes. Look at those. He looks like a demon. Anyways, yeah, the team looks pretty good. I like what we got. Blackshear isn't even that bad. Our first round pick is 73 overall. He just didn't get to development. And CPU is always better at drafting than me. Clemens is a hidden dev, and he seems to be pretty good. Team looks great. Anyways, it's the fourth and final season. We've already won the Super Bowl, so let's move in to the playoffs. Now, here we are in the playoffs going 9-8 top of the division. A little bit weirder from last season, but coming off a win to the Bears. We're going to check the stats and awards here to see what we got. Prior top 5 QB, it's looking like now 8th best offense in the NFL, 17th best defense, unfortunately, 4,900 yards, 41 touchdowns, 17 interceptions. Dalvin Cook, 21 touchdowns, 4.7 per carry, 1,300 yards, great season. Justin Jefferson, 106 receptions, 1,300 yards, 8 touchdowns. Brandon Ayuk, 13 touchdowns, 1,100 yards. He's doing pretty good. Looking at it defensively, Eric Kendricks, 126 tackles for a loss, 18 for Ed Oliver, sacks, 14 for Danielle Hunter, 11.5 for Ed Oliver, and 11 for Josh Sweat. Way better than Zadarius Smith. Interceptions, 3 for Eric Kendricks. Safeties, 1 for Jordan Brooks. And defensive touchdowns, 1 for Eric Kendricks and 1 for Jamel Dean. How is this team? There's a vacuum in the background now. I'm so sorry. But I'm going to try to overpower the vacuum and see if we can beat the Cowboys. That's so unfortunate that a vacuum just started in the other room. But we lost anyways to the Cowboys. Anyways, guys, that's going to be it for this video. I thank you guys all for watching. Tell me which team you would like me to rebuild next, and the vacuum stopped. So that's good. But anyways, guys, tell me which team you'd like me to rebuild next, as TJ Hockenson did pretty decent with the team. I think he got 1,000 yards one time. I don't think he was ridiculous. He didn't get 1,000 yards anytime. He had a good season, 2024, 10 touchdowns, but yeah, he wasn't stellar. Anyways, guys, apart from that, I thank you guys all for watching, and I'll see you guys all in the next one.